Hello, my name is James Chandler, and I'm running for City Council in District 1 against James Tate. I'm a write-in candidate, so that means you have to write me in. I'm here today at O'Hare Park, a park here in our district, District 1, and I'm going throughout the city to show you the many things that needs to be changed, that needs to be upgraded, that James Tate has lost focus on. I'm here to set the standard straight, to get the record straight, and to hold our leaders accountable. There's a lack of accountability and a lack of focus from James Tate on our communities here that could better the quality of life. That's my focus, the quality of life. So again, I'm here at O'Hare Park, and I'm going to go throughout the community to show you what's been going on and what things are looking like and how I'm willing to change the things that's been going on for as long as he's been in office, over 15 years. I'm fighting for reparations, undenied aid, and government transparency. There's a lack of transparency from our leadership, from James Tate in District 1, and I want to make more changes to our housing issues, corruption in our neighborhoods, economics, on auto and insurance, price gouging, on transit, on banks. I want to change the narrative. Policies that we and our government or our council members set in place above the Constitution or above the law. I want to redefine what it is, what the law really is. So once again, I would like to say that I am here at O'Hare Park, a beautiful park in District 1. However, things could be even more beautified. There's always room for improvement, as well as with other parts of our community, in which I'm going to take us on a journey to a few places to see what's been going on. I want to bring new ideas, fresh ideas, changing policies, because our leaders like to put policy above law, which means constitutional law, which means common law, which means the Bill of Rights. I'm for human rights, and I'm for the quality of life, bettering the quality of life for all people. I have some ideas for even new holidays that will set new standards, that will bring revenue and the pursuit of happiness, to make that dream, the American dream, a reality. Such as bless someone at the bus stop day. You've been catching the buses, the transit, and mostly black communities are on these buses, and the poverty level is super high. So on a particular day or a month, people can bless somebody at the bus stop, maybe even buy them a car, monetary gifts, whatever, for this specific day. It's a holiday. This will change the narrative, bring a pursuit of happiness in people's lives. And just think, another holiday. Remember the history books in the late, early 1920s, how prices on food, you could buy things at 6 cents. So imagine a holiday where we can go back in time with the prices, where things could be 6 cents, and those price ranges, right? So that you can buy up or gather as much product or services as possible in that time frame. One day out the year, each year, for this time period, so that we could gain more, giving back to the community. There's been a lot of price gouging with a lot of these stores, and this could be another way to handle that situation. However, I am for bringing down the prices on a lot of the groceries, on a lot of the products and services in general. So follow me throughout the city. we're going to go over to some of the vacant buildings and schools and see what James Tate has done in these communities. Again, a lack of focus on the residents in District 1. Here we are on Brightmore. This school has been sitting damaged for years. James Tate has been in office 16 years, and what will they do with this building? This is a school. It could be reopened, fixed up to remain a school or a recreation center. Or even somewhere we could do trade schools for trades and skills, not only for the youth, but for those seniors or mid-millennials that needs a job or career opportunity. Even if they were incarcerated, new opportunities should always be available. Second chances should always be an option. Forgiveness and grace is needed in our communities. Don't be harsh with the citizens in your own communities, the residents in these communities, if you don't want to be harsh with the leadership in the same communities. Now entering Burt Elementary School. It used to be Burt Elementary. Entering one of the classrooms. Yes, I am here, and this is what it's looking like, y'all. So I get to see it for yourself. Let's go. So let's set over here real quick. So again, I want to make this clear. I am James Chandler, running for City Council in Detroit, Michigan, District 1, against James Tate. He's been an official running for 16 years, and we already seen what needs to be fixed. I would like to close out this video with a clear understanding of my policies, a clear understanding of my goals, and how you can help me win the election coming up in November 4th. Again, I'm James Chandler, a write-in candidate, so you have to write me in. James Chandler, a write-in candidate. You have to write me in for District 1, Detroit, Michigan City Council. I would like to read my speech to you in regards to the policies, the plans that I have in mind for our community in District 1. And also, I am fighting for a national cause. I have a petition out, 2024-202, and it lists 43 policies that would help the quality of life for everyone. My brothers and sisters, citizens of Detroit, and fellow Americans, we stand at a crossroads, and I must ask you, how long will justice, fairness, and truth be denied a voice in our city and in our nation? How long will the people of Detroit and America at large be silenced, ignored, and dismissed? One issue on accountability. If the people can file complaints through hotlines, forms, and letters against the powerless, why can't we just as easily file complaints against the powerful? Against police officers, attorney generals, judges, and legislators? Why is justice accessible when it crushes the weak, but blocked when it challenges the strong? Shouldn't our voices count the same no matter who we are holding accountable? And by that I mean our voices should be heard through emails and not just forms on political websites. On corruption, when the 36th District Court in Detroit and the Judicial Tenure Commission are linked to bias, extortion, and bribery, shouldn't they lose their licenses? Shouldn't they repay what they've stolen from the public trust? Why should crooked courts and corrupt commissions continue to operate after betraying the people? On economics, Detroit has been locked into a $3 billion budget for decades. But are we really poor? Or are we sitting on one of the most valuable resources in the world, the Great Lakes, while our people still struggle? If our water fuels other cities, if our banks profit off our deposits, if industries thrive here, why are our African Americans who built this city still waiting for reinvestment and reparations? Isn't it time we demand an economy that grows with us, not against us? On auto and insurance industries, why were cars once built to last 500,000 miles, yet today a vehicle is called worthless at $209,799? Why do insurers strip families of investments by devaluing vehicles too early? Isn't that fraud by design? And why should car dealerships ruin credit records with predatory checks when no purchase is made? Isn't it time for a car credit recall law that protects working people? On transit, why are riders stranded along West 8 Mile with no bus stops, no shelters, and no dignity, while DDOT collects millions? Why does a 31-day pass still cost $70 when so many can't afford it? Shouldn't public transit serve the people, not punish them? And wouldn't a tradition like bless somebody at the bus stop day remind us that when systems fail, community must prevail? On banks, why do banks multiply our deposit for their gain, yet return so little to the people who make it possible? Shouldn't they pay 3 to 5 years of interest on every dollar deposited if they profit off our money? Why shouldn't the people share that wealth? Isn't that how we make the American dream real? By putting wealth back into the hands of those who earned it. On the housing issue. Today, families, seniors, and working people are being thrown out of their homes for small rent shortfalls, sometimes less than the cost of groceries for the month. Does that sound like justice? Does that sound like fairness? That is why we demand the tenant protection threshold law, a law that says no tenant can be evicted unless they owe at least 6 months of unpaid rent. Why? Because eviction should never be a weapon used against those who are only slightly behind. Because families deserve stability, children deserve to stay in school, and our tax dollars shouldn't be wasted on emergency shelters when people could have stayed in their homes. Housing is a human right, and Detroit must lead the way. On history and reparations. Why were Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and a native woman on land Old Lake's butter erased, while we are told to get over centuries of oppression? Reparations are not charity. They are justice. Justice delayed has been justice denied. But isn't it time justice delivered became our reality? There is a resolution, Historic Prices Day, a holiday that I'm planning ahead. And now I rise to propose a bold action for economic justice and national restoration, recognizing and establishing Historic Prices Day as a national holiday to provide economic relief, honor the American worker, and restore faith in the American dream. Whereas the United States has a proud tradition of national holidays that honor our history, culture, and values, yet no holiday directly addresses the economic burdens placed on working families. Whereas the cost of food, fuel, housing, and basic necessities have risen dramatically, leaving millions of Americans struggling to meet their daily needs. Whereas in the 1920s, everyday items such as bread, milk, and other staples cost only a fraction of today's prices. Restoring these historic costs, even for one day, will provide immense relief to working families. Whereas corporations and financial institutions benefit from the labor and deposits of the American people, yet too often fail to reinvest that prosperity back into the communities that sustain them. Whereas a national holiday that requires retailers and corporations to roll back prices on essential goods to their 1920s equivalents, with the difference subsidized by the federal government, would not only provide immediate economic relief, but also serve as a symbol of justice, unity, and national care. Whereas such a holiday would strengthen communities, boost small businesses through increased commerce, and remind the nation that prosperity must be shared by all. Resolved, that the House of Representatives establishes Historic Prices Day as a federal holiday to be observed annually on the first Monday in September. Requires all major retailers, supermarkets, and gas stations to participate by rolling back the prices of designated essential goods, including staple foods, household necessities, and basic transportation to their historic 1920s rates. Districts, the Department of Commerce, and coordination with the Department of Labor to oversee implementation and provide federal subsidies to cover the difference between current and historic pricing, encourages small businesses to participate voluntarily, with participating businesses eligible for federal tax credits, affirms that this holiday is both an act of economic justice and a symbolic restoration of the American dream, ensuring that every family may experience relief and dignity. So I ask you, Detroit and America, don't we deserve better? Don't we deserve courts that serve justice, not corruption? Don't we deserve homes, not evictions over pennies? Don't we deserve budgets that grow with our potential, not trap us in poverty? Don't we deserve industries that respect our investments, not steal them? Don't we deserve transit that serves the people, not strands them? or strains them? Don't we deserve banks that pay us fairly, not rob us legally? Don't we deserve reparations, the debt of history paid in full? And don't we deserve a day when our families can experience prices that honor their labor and dignity? I am asking you, how long will we allow silence? How long will we accept injustice? And when will we rise together to demand the fairness, dignity, and justice that is rightfully ours? I am James Chandler, and I will not be silent. Will you? Because when the people rise, no corrupt system can stand. Thank you. And may justice guide us all forward.